Jack does a lot of improv as well, so he must have been a joy to work with.
Always. But he would watch Roman and I play chess. But I couldn't get Jack to come and play chess with me.
Why? He's afraid you'd kick his
I'd kick his ass.
Hi, I'm Rob Word. Welcome to A Word on Westerns. And today, we're not going to talk about Westerns so much, but we're going to talk about people who made a lot of Westerns, and we're going to talk about the Depression-era movies that our guest today, Bruce Glover, did. And I'm talking about Big Bad Mama 2 with Angie Dickinson and Robert Culp. I'm talking about Chinatown with Jack Nicholson and Faye Dunaway. And I'm also talking about Hard Times, which was Walter Hill's first film as a director. And Bruce Glover, you were in all three of those films. So
lucky me.
Lucky you was right. Lucky them.
Lucky them.
Exactly.
1933. America had hit the skids. Columbia Pictures presents Hard Times, starring Charles Bronson as Cheney, a drifter.
When I get enough change in my pocket, I'm going.
Hard Times. Yeah. Set in the Depression. Charles Bronson, Jim Coburn, and Walter Hill, a wonderful writer. He wrote Getaway, and this is the first film he ever directed about bare-knuckled fighting in New Orleans.
Yeah, he was a terrific director in the sense that, but just being on a set with Bronson is an experience that's unbelievable. You know, I mean, Bronson was a hard case. And I remember one time he called me over and he said, I noticed that when you see a bunch of people around me, you come on over. And I go, yeah. And he said, why do you do that? And I said, because you're interesting, but I don't want to intrude on your privacy. And he went, ah. And then I said, so I think I learned a lesson just this minute. He went, oh. People would come up to him and say, can I shake your hand? He'd go, I don't shake hands. Can I get an autograph? I don't give autographs. He was a tough dude. But I remember the first time I was on a set with him, I'm standing on a sidewalk and suddenly I feel this hand on my chest and on my back pushing me off the sidewalk. And it was Bronson. I think he just wanted to see if I was built strongly or something. Bronson was just Bronson. Now, Coburn was hilarious. He was great fun to be around. His dressing room was the party room.
I propose a toast to the best man I know. Me.
And he was good with me for... I remember when I had this scene with him where I grabbed his hand and squeezed it, and he went, no! And then that was a terrific piece of giving to my character, making it look strong and right. So I was lucky, to work with both those actors, each in their own way. Because if you didn't experience Bronson, you were making a mistake. You had to experience the way Bronson was. And Coburn, you had to enjoy him. God, he was a terrific actor.
He was charming, too, but the camera loved him, and he had that wonderful smile and laugh.
Yeah, and he liked an audience and everything.
I got a husband in jail, no job, and no prospects.
But over past the next bend in the road.
Well, Jill Ireland, his wife, was in that film also.
Yeah, totally standoffish, not friendly, not at all. She would whiz in and off and hated everybody.
Oof. Well, except for him, because she left David McCallum. She was married to David McCallum.
Bronson was, he had a body on him.
Boy, I'll say he did in that bare-knuckle fighting that he was doing. Some wonderful stuff.
Speed was the hustler. Cheney was the hitter. Together, they just couldn't be beat.
But what's so interesting, looking at it in retrospect, is there's nobody bloody. It's just these wonderful set pieces and the sound effects from the fight but yet people are not dripping blood with smashed noses like they would do today.
I don't know, maybe.
Pretty stylish.
To a lot of people in my time, and the blood may not show until tomorrow.
Well, don't practice now. I trust that's a wonderful memory that
You might be tougher than you think.
Well, you might be tougher than I think, and I'm happy to just sit here and enjoy these stories. Strother Martin was in that film too. What was Strother like?
Lovely guy, sweet, friendly. Good guy. Pleasant.
Now, since that was Walter's first film, it was probably you had to move pretty fast. I'm sure he was very prepared going into it.
He was terrific. I approached him at an event a couple of years ago, and said hi, and he said you were terrific in the film and whatever. Yeah, he was. What he gave was an opportunity. A lot of times, as an actor, there's no opportunity in the writing, and you have to create your own opportunity to make it look like it was something. And Scott had created an opportunity. So the character that I did was an opportunity. It wasn't anything I had to totally invent. It was there, and he wrote it.
Yes. What a good writer. Dialogue and everything. Just I love his work. It's always interesting.
Yeah.
And so another Depression-era film, Chinatown.
Los Angeles, 1937. There are lots of guys like J.J. Gitters. They're easy to find, if you want to find them.
Now that film, you're Jack Nicholson's partner in that, his detective partner, and it's just beautifully shot. John Alonzo, I believe, was the DP on that, and Roman Polanski.
Roman and I got on very well. We used to play chess between takes, and Polanski went, Glover, what I want from you is you, the way you were in that office when we met. So just be you. And I said, I can do that, Roman. He said, all right.
Have we ever met?
Well, no,
Never.
never.
Since you agree with me that we've never met before, you must also agree with me that I've never hired you to do anything, certainly not spy on my husband.
Faye Dunaway, me and other actors who were doing regular Broadway, saw her the first time on set. We went apeshit. She was beautiful and exotic and very different than any woman we'd seen before. I remember actually getting her phone number, the idea of being able to do a scene with her for the Academy, and it never worked out. But so the day when she was going to be appearing on the set, the first time I'd seen her since those early days when me and George would flirt with her, it was a different time. And now Polanski says, okay, Jack, Bruce, we're having trouble getting Faye out of her makeup, so we're going to have to run through the scene a little bit to rehearse it until she'll finally get over it. So I'm going like, okay, and we read through the scene, and I'm kind of very tense about this thing, about the past memories and all that stuff, and having gotten her phone number, and there suddenly she's now a big star. And I'm looking at her, and Polanski, we finished it, Jack and I finished doing the scene, and Polanski goes, Glover, you're so funny already. What are you going to be like when the camera's on you? So I laughed, and it was a perfect piece of direction I could have gotten. And when the scene happened, it was all terrific, and she was, Faye was one of those actresses who don't relate to anybody off camera. Jack wasn't that way. I wasn't that way. I could talk to the camera guy or, special effects guy or the guy who's bringing the food. It doesn't matter. As soon as the camera's rolling, now I'm the character. Off camera, I'm here.
But But with Roman, he wanted you to be Bruce on camera and off camera, right? That's what he said. Be the same. Be like you were in the...
We played chess every day.
Uh-huh.
And I mostly won, but he was directing the movie.
You had to back off a little bit, right?
But I had a good time with Roman, and he was great with me, and he let me be who I was. And I have, I added a lot to that film, actually. There was a kind of real reality of that character appreciating Jack and the situation that was going on. And it was a great experience.
Well, Jack does a lot of improv as well, so he must have been a joy to work with.
Always, but he would watch Roman and I play chess. But I couldn't get Jack to come and play chess with me.
Why?
I don't know.
He was afraid you'd kick his
I'd kick his ass. God knows he had a brilliant career.
Yes, he did. Well, when you're shooting that film, because there's so many talented people involved in every aspect of it, did you think at the time that it was going to become the classic, the film noir that everybody looks at now as the highlight of?
I don't know if I even think that way. I just think of this is what I'm doing right now, alive. And if it comes off in the overall film, then you can look at it later and go, yeah, you really did do stuff that added to that film. But to me, I'm very big on something called real estate. Pay off your mortgage, keep the house you just bought, get another house, and stay real.
Well, let's talk about another Depression-era film. This is produced by Roger Corman, with Angie Dickinson and Robert Culp, Big Bad Mama 2.
Hot damn! Angie Dickinson's back as Big Bad Mama.
Now, the first one was a monster hit.
Yeah.
And Roger produced that one as well.
And I was playing a character that wanted to become senator or governor or whatever.
And your son is kidnapped in the story, I believe.
Yeah. The most powerful part was working with Angie Dickinson, who was incredibly gorgeous and incredibly smart and very helpful to you and very giving as an actress working with you.
And has done some classic movies, too. Now, Jim Wynorski directed this film, and he works for Roger a lot.
Tough guy. Sounds like his name is Wynorski. He was good, whatever. Angie was great to work with, and Wynorski was terrific.
Straight to hell. Yes, ma'am, just as fast as I can.
Now Mama and her girls are having the prime of their lives.
I was lucky to get the part. I had a stupid agent that put me up for another part, and the director said, no, you should play this part, and gave me the part that I ended up playing. And thank you.
I know it's not a Depression-era film, but Hunter's Blood is a mean, tough movie.
Where the law of the land is, do unto others before they do unto you.
It's about 5 guys who go out hunting and suddenly they become the hunted.
Well, we were vicious criminals. The first time you saw my character, I walked on the set and there was a car parked there, and I kicked in the headlight and it went, whoops. And we were evil characters, raping and killing people.
That's evil, yeah.
Yeah. I remember there was a whole section where they had this beautiful shot set up where my character came down a hill and then slowly down to a riverbed, and then slowly along the riverbed, and then discovering the body of one of my gang. And they had this beautiful shot worked out. And the producers, the director said, okay, roll them. And I said, it's sound rolling. And they said, why? I said, because I'm going to say stuff. So I'm going like, hey, Joe, hey, where are you, boy? I'm looking for you. I'm coming down to get you. And I'm doing all this while coming down the hill. And I'm going, where are you, boy? You fall down. You get up on your get-along, or I'm going to whomp you. And then, oh, there you are. You fall down. And then I crawl up, and I realize his head's all shot apart, and I'm holding his hand. And, there was more dialogue in there, but all kind of done, period. But this was all dialogue for this terrific shot. And I went, I'm holding his hand. I went, now how the hell do I get out of here? And I just went, yeah. And the stupid director who gave nothing went, okay. And then the producer came running up and he said, you just made it the greatest film ever. And it was a good moment, but that's the kind of actor I am. I would make up stuff. I would write stuff. If, the director was just,
Well, you don't want to hear much from him. It sounds like to me that you just have this, you want to bring it on yourself.
Yeah, if a director has something to say, I'll listen. Guy Hamilton had stuff to say. That was a brilliant thing. If Crispin said stuff to me, that's brilliant stuff. Even if we argue about stuff, But directors who have nothing to offer have nothing to offer. So move on.
You worked with a veteran director, Gene Yarborough, who directed Over the Hill Gang with Walter Brennan, Pat O'Brien, Andy Devine, Chill Wills, really a wonderful cast of veteran character actors.
Yeah.
In a Western. And he also directed Walter Brennan's TV series that you did a couple of episodes of, which was The Guns of Will Sonnet. And a director like that, who was an older guy at the time doing that film.
Well, you do your thing, and they basically realize it's good, and they get the hell out of your way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're pros, and they don't. They know when you're giving them something good.
Well, we sure appreciate you inviting us into your home to share these stories with us, Bruce. It's been nice. I know I've been after you before COVID to get together to share.
You're lucky, man. I'm lucky to get me.
I feel lucky, and you're lucky too.
Thank you.
To have such an interesting life of different parts and
more to come.
More to come.
And, life is unfolding. You can die of me in a minute from now, but you better live fully until the last minute.
Thank you for having us here.
Thank you. Love you.